Welcome back to another video. Today, as you can tell already by the title, we are going to be installing some Serialnine rear upper control arms on the LS400. In the box behind me, I want to give a big shout out to the homie Troy. Go give him a follow at Dumped Stars on Instagram. Super cool guy, hooked it up and got me these in 2 days. So they are brand new Serialnine rear upper control arms, fully adjustable, which I will go over and explain a little bit later for anybody that is not very familiar with these, compared to the stock shortened fabricated rear uppers that I have on my LS. So here they are. These are, I believe, good for up to -12 is what it states on the website. Today we will see about that. Super well made. They are handmade. Anybody that orders these off of the website, I know usually has to wait between 1 month to 9 months, but had a private seller, the homie Troy, that had these, was parting out his LS. I've been looking for these for about like 6-7 months, and anybody that follows my Instagram knows that I post on my story like every other day looking for some arms. Well, here we have them, and I am excited to get them on the car finally. So we will have to play a little bit of car roulette and get the LS probably up on this side so we can get it in the air and start taking stuff apart. Let me move some cars around and let's get into the video. So the car is in the air. Figured I'd show you guys what we are currently running. Right now, I have shortened rear upper control arms. Once I take this off, you'll be able to see, but these are stock upper control arms, which I shortened in a video way back to get some camber, because I couldn't find, nor did I want to spend the money on rear uppers at the time. I do have all 3 rear lowers, but all of my camber is from the upper. The rear lowers are as short as they can go. Oh, hard to see. I'll show you that later, but they're all the way in to get the minimum amount of camber from those lowers. Anyways, I'm going to take this upper off. I also have to take off my SS kit because all of my SS kits are not able to work with the Serialnine, T-Demand, Nagisa, any rear upper control arms. They won't work. I will explain that a little bit as well once I get the rear upper off. I will compare that one to the Serialnine one and hopefully help you guys out. And let's get the show on the road. It is a couple hours later. I had to run some errands before a few stores closed, but I am back working on the LS. We left off with just the wheel off. I was checking out some of the stuff, some of the bolts and stuff, getting to it. And if you're an OG subscriber and you remember us putting on the shortened fabricated rear uppers, I said that it was a pain to get them on. Well, it is the same thing with getting them off. So what I decided to do was actually drop the subframe, which is actually really easy. It is just 4 main bolts that holds the subframe. I left the puck, which attaches the drive shaft to the differential. I left that together just so it could hang, and then when I jack it back up, it'll kind of be back in place instead of having to worry about that. I didn't need the subframe dropped completely out. I just need it dropped so that I can get wrenches and stuff, which I will show you in a second. But we have one side completely apart. As you can see, I have the axle out of this side. I ended up taking off all the lowers. I left the e-brake on, so that's why it's kind of looks all mamble jambled right now. But to get to this nut that is right there, pain in the ass, and that is a fact. So with this on, whether it's stock, shortened, aftermarket, whatever else, the axle basically goes through and has maybe this much clearance on the nut. So there's no way that you can fit anything in. Even if you fit it in like this, you're not getting any turn radius. So I just took off the lowers, which took 2 seconds. I took off these bolts from the actual subframe while the subframe was down. I just jacked it up just a little bit so that I could get my legs underneath this, get the lowers off, and let it hang. So I will take the impact real quick, take this nut off. Hopefully this is not like really pressed in. If anything, I do have a puller, or I'll just use a air hammer on the end of this, and we will get the Serialnine ones in. I do want to say it is kind of overcast, so it looks like it's going to be a little bit darker earlier. If I end up getting all of this together and it is too late or too dark, I of course will still show you, but we'll end up finishing the video in the morning. It is 7 o'clock right now. We have a meet at 9:30. If I got this Serialnine stuff done, I was going to maybe align the LS, put all 4 Vaugards on, and pop out to the meet, but things are taking a little bit longer than expected, and I had some other stuff pop up which I had to go attend. So time isn't really on my side right now, but I'm gonna put the camera down, start taking apart the other side, what I just explained. We'll start getting some of these Serialnine arms on, and hopefully start putting stuff back together. All of the arms are out. We have both of the stock OEM shortened rear upper control arms and the Serialnine rear upper control arms fully adjustable. So if we come over here, what I did before I made my SS kit was not only shortened these stock OEM rear upper control arms, but because I shortened the stock ones, basically moving this part back, which brings this part back where this bolts up to the knuckle, the actual coilover was hitting. So the stock location is like this of the metal. What I did is I notched it out, basically, especially as low as I was going. The coilover actually goes like this. So where the ball joint is, boom, hits straight into the coilover. So that's why I made my SS kit, basically moving it back. Looking from the top, you can really see the size differential of, I guess, the diameter of the hole. Here you have a smaller hole, here you have a bigger hole. So what they did was they took the OEM location for mounting, where these would be, and they basically moved the ball joint back and shortened it, as well as, I think, a decent amount of arc. So here they're almost flat. Here you can really see that they go from flat up, which also helps bring the knuckle a lot higher, allowing you to go quite a bit lower. The full adjustability is from this right here. Basically move and twist this out. You can see it start to come out. That's for more positive camber, and maxing it out is going to be max negative camber. I did take these off. If you've watched my LS400 front upper control arm mod, basically these eyelets right here would max out and you could still see thread. So what we did was we took that off, we shortened the thread, and it allowed it to go all the way in, giving Chris a couple more degrees of camber. I did pull these out, took off this locking nut just to see how long the actual thread is, and when I put this all the way in, it maxed out, showing a couple threads. So I'm not that worried about getting a couple extra degrees out of these. If you really wanted to, if you're watching this at home, you could do that. Take off this locking nut, and from there cut off like 4 or 5 threads, and it will allow it to shorten, which would give you probably another 2 degrees. Anyways, these are built really well. I want to get them in the car before the sun starts going down, which it kind of already has. A little bit of weather coming in. And yeah, super excited on these. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'm pretty sure I covered most everything. I already have quite a few buyers off of these, so I will I guess post them on Instagram if all of them flake, but there's a few people that really want them, so those will probably be gone. The Serialnine ones should be going in. They do come with, of course, new ball joints and new hardware, which is really nice. And I think that's about it. Let me start getting these in. We'll get them in maxed out, and we'll see how much camber the LS has.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Welcome back to a new day. Hopefully it's not fogging up too much. We are kind of in a time crunch. Yesterday took a lot longer than expected. I ended up dropping the whole rear subframe, which wasn't an issue, but anything that could go wrong was going wrong. Bolts were getting stripped, you know, things weren't lining up, and it was just a pain. So I ended up calling it a night. Came out this morning at like 7 a.m. It's like 7:40 right now. Just got one side together, all bolted up. Other than the axle nut, I gotta tighten that down, put the cotter pin in. But as you can see, everything is bolted up and tightened down. So now I'm working on the other side. The bolt that goes through the coilover, I don't know where my OEM one is, so the bolt that I've been using is just quite long. I put it up to the vise, shortened it a little bit. I will be putting that in on the other side, getting the traction arm and camber arm back in, and I think that should be about it. I'll go through, make sure everything is tight, put the wheels on, kind of see how it is, and give you guys an overview of what I think of these arms. Everything is now together, everything is tight. We have some anti-seize on the actual axle, on some of the other bolts, tightened up the caliper. I tucked the line and zip tied it to the Serialnine rear upper. Made sure everything was tight, put some tools out of the way. I'm gonna actually throw on a spacer, throw on the Vaugards, see how it fits. I wasn't sure, I think I needed a 2-inch or maybe a 40 mil. I don't know, I'm gonna try this one and go from there. So the one thing I did wanna bring up, what I thought was really cool, which I'll grab this. I had no idea that these Serialnine arms are adjustable through this. So I saw it when I opened the package. Really, I had no idea how you adjust Serialnine or any other arms. But as you can see, it actually says camber, which has a positive and a negative. So you take a large Allen key that fits in there like that, and you go left to right for positive and negative camber. Basically, it's a little hub on the inside that spins around the threaded part of the eyelet right here, pushing it in and out, which is super cool because it makes adjustability for camber super easy. You have it on both sides. If you're gonna adjust your camber in or out a lot, I would recommend doing a little bit here, a little bit that side, a little bit here, a little bit that side, and going from there. I do want to just take a second and say that for following videos, I will try and do a little bit more of showing exactly what I'm doing. This was kind of a long process, and I ran into a bunch of issues and a bunch of little things. Really, I had no idea how to tell you guys the best way to do it. I kind of just attacked it on what I thought would be easiest, but for further reference, for further videos, I know that I've had a lot of people tell me that they want to see me do some stuff. They want to kind of, you know, be there when stuff mess up, you know, when stuff goes easy, kind of me taking, you know, different routes and approaches for what I'm doing, which is part of the YouTube. That's why you guys watch the videos. So I apologize that it hasn't really been, you know, set up on the tripod or camera angles, all of that stuff. It got late and got dark yesterday. I was up early this morning, just wanted to finish and button everything up. So yeah, just want to take a sec and let you guys know that I will try and do better on that, try to make these videos a little bit better for you guys, because you guys are the audience watching. Now it's time to get these spacers on. We'll throw the Vaugards on, maybe we'll move it out, take some cool pics, because I don't think I've ever had all four on since I test fit them. So we'll see how that looks and maybe align it. Let's go. Both Vaugards are on. We've got the jack underneath. I gotta pull those jack stands out real quick. But boom, here we are. And that's just hanging, it's not even up yet. Let me grab these jack stands out. And we'll let this thing down slowly. Maybe slowly. Oh. And I forgot the car is in neutral with no e-brake on. Oh, tripping, stumbling. I know you guys fuck with the Birks, right? Birks and white short socks. Come on, you can't get better than that. Sheesh! That's a little crazy sauce right there, if you ask me. Wow. Wow. This is the good side because that little tab thing is on, but let me move this jack out the way. Wow. I think this looks super good. That rear is more than I expected, actually. Quite a bit more than I expected, but I will not complain. The front's tucking all right, got to get that down a lot more. Rear is tucking good, but not lug nuts, so we're not there yet. Wow. Wow. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe I'll put my phone and a piece of wood up to it and check, but damn, that looks pretty dope actually. Sheesh. Well, as you can tell, the LS is gone. Just went to the middle of the street, took some pictures real quick, left a couple marks leaving the driveway. Pops will be a little bit tight, but he'll be alright. Anyways, let's walk over here. Quick synopsis, took longer than I wanted. I'm very happy with it though. I will probably be taking out a little bit of camber from the upper just for the fact of having to run spacers on the wheels right now, waiting to rebuild them, just because. Take a little bit out, make that fitment kind of nice as it is right now. But looking behind me, I'm super excited. The Serialnine arms are really good quality. I know if you order them from the website, it could take anywhere from a month to like 9 months, I've heard. Again, I found mine through a private seller. Shout out to Troy, hooked it up big time. I've been looking for a set of rear uppers for a long time and almost pulled the trigger on some Tita-Man ones the other day, but it is a 2-month wait. We've got ASM coming up and some other stuff. So these come across my DMs actually, so had to hop on them. But enough teasing, here we are. The LS on the ground. On the ground. The Voggards look so good. I will have to figure something out with the hanging bumper, but man, I cannot complain. Right now, I think these rears, the fronts, I did take off the front upper, so I don't have the front upper. All my cambers just from the spindles. I should be about like 13, 14 in the front. So taking that into consideration, I think we've got like 18-ish, maybe 20. But that is also with a raised diff, which shouldn't have too much to do with it. I do have lowers, which are pretty much all the way in adjustment wise, so I haven't really gotten much camber from that. But there is a little slider on the backside, which I maxed out, so maybe another 2 or 3 degrees from there. And yeah, digging how it's finally coming out. This has been a long time coming, and I'm glad that I could finally get it together. So stay tuned. Also, I will drop the link down below. The Celsior and the Cedric, I've been working on paperwork for those and finally got everything figured out, so those will be for sale soon. This LS, not sure what I'm going to do with yet. I think that will also be for sale soon if you're interested. Only 168 miles, 168,000 miles. Timing and water pump and all that stuff was done at like 125 RL. That's just my brother's day leaf right now. The white LS over there, I gotta figure that out. That was Boy Brazy's. Go back and watch that last video. I went over all of that. That has not been fun trying to figure some stuff out yet, but I wanted to work on my LS before that. Again, I gotta clean up these tools and start putting stuff away, but the LS is done. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to put a thumbs up. It helps more than you imagine, and every time you guys run it up, it's greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and stay tuned. I got more LS stuff coming. I got more other build stuff coming, and in a couple weeks, 2 weeks, we will be introducing 2 new builds onto the channel, which I don't know a single YouTuber that has either of these cars. So drop some comments down below what you think those are. Stay tuned for those videos, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Later.